Yeah. Oh, Edwards, he's going to pick it up! What a save!
The Colin Edwards Texas Tornado Boot Camp is a popular attraction for motorcycle racing enthusiasts because of the facilities and the person who set it up. Colin Edwards, the two-time Superbike World Champion. A talented racer with an interesting career, Colin moved to MotoGP in 2003 after winning the 2000 and 2002 Superbike World Championship. A firm MotoGP favorite with his American fans. Let's take a look at his career. Colin was born in Houston, Texas in 1974, and 3 years later he was already trying out his skills on a bike, got into his first race a year after that, and immediately started to claim motocross trophies. His father, Colin Edwards Senior, was a motorcycle racer and played a big part in Colin's racing career. The apple fell close to the tree after all. From the start of his career, he was one of the top amateurs from the USA, before he moved to road racing when he was 16, and further progressed his career as an amateur. He joined the pro category in the season of 1992 and raced in the 250cc National Series for Southwest Motorsports and claimed 5 races while taking down Kenny Roberts Jr. in the process. He rose to the AMA National Superbike Series in 1993 when he was 19. He took 2 years to better his performance while riding the Yamaha Superbike and completed the championship in 6th place in 1994, his very first year. Yamaha then pushed him to the international field, where he had his first World Superbike Championship race in 1995 with a new factory team for Yamaha. Yamaha offered Edwards a chance to ride with them in 1995 in the Superbike World Championship. He, however, performed poorly as he tried to get used to the ropes of global competitions and even missed the final 2 meetings when Yasutomo, his teammate, passed away after crashing at Assen. He improved in 1996 and was in 6th place in the Superbike World Championship overall standings. 1997 was another disappointing year for Colin. He had to leave the competition because of his injuries during the 5th round at the Superbike World Championship. He was taken out of the Yamaha Superbike team, and what's worse is that he was unable to negotiate for a position in the Grand Prix competition in the 500cc category. He was lucky enough to get into a contract with Honda to compete in the Superbike World Championship in 1998 with the RC45. He finished in 5th place overall, giving him his first 2 victories in an international territory with 2 wins at Monza, then another win at Brands Hatch. He claimed a couple more wins for Honda in 1999 and completed 2nd place overall as Cole Fogarty took 1st place. Colin was riding the Honda VTR 1000 SP1 RC5 in 2000. A twin-cylinder machine that drove him to claim the Superbike World Championship after the points leader for Yamaha, Horiyuki Haga, tested positive for a prohibited substance and was disqualified from the race. In 2001, he was 2nd place behind Troy Bliss from Ducati, but he dramatically took the title from Bayliss the following year in 2002 at the final championship season race in Imola. He received the record for the most points gained in a season, a total of 552 points, breaking the last record of 489 points Cole Fogarty had set in 1999. Troy Bayliss, the runner-up, also broke the record by acquiring 541 points. In 2003, Colin rose to MotoGP after claiming his 2nd Superbike World Championship. This time, he was with the troubled team Aprilia with the RS Cube. The only worthy accomplishment he made during the terrible year was avoiding the injuries of that season, when his bike caught fire because its fuel cap had been incorrectly fitted at Sachsenring. Even with all that he had achieved, Colin stood with the struggling team and tried to help them get back on their feet. Colin rode for Telefonica Movistar Honda in 2004 and claimed his first ever MotoGP podium at Donington. He concluded the season in 5th place overall. He moved to Team Guluaza with Yamaha in 2005 and rode alongside Valentino Rossi. The best result he achieved that year was 2nd place at Laguna Seca, while Nicky Hayden took 1st place. At the end of the season, he was in 4th place overall. He impressively finished in 4th position during his season debut on the M1. He also had 3 podium standings and was the only rider who gained points in all 17 races, helping Yamaha take the title. Colin was desperate to claim a MotoGP win, but he struggled with the M1 chatter problems and finished the year in 7th place in the points after gaining only a single podium. At the same time, Nicky Hayden took Valentino Rossi's crown in the last round. After they battled at Assen, Hayden had taken away Colin's chance at victory at the beginning of the year. Hayden unsuccessfully tried to cross Colin and ran off track, and Colin, who had no idea of Hayden's mistake, fell and handed him the victory. Rossi, Colin, and Yamaha hoped they would do better in 2007 during the 800cc race's first year. But even with the high expectations and great winter tests, the M1 was not up to the task compared to the Ducati Casey Stoner was riding. Colin managed to take 2 pole positions and 2 podiums, but that was not going to hide the fact that he had performed poorly overall by taking 9th place. The result was below expectations. Valentino wanted Colin to stick with him in 2008, but Yamaha had other plans for the future, and instead signed Jorge Lorenzo, the 2-time 250cc champion, to ride alongside him. Yamaha didn't end Colin's contract. They moved him to the Tech 3 team, attracted by its change to Michelin tyres and a 2008 bike. Colin was excited about the move and took a pole in China. He followed with a podium at round 5 of the French Grand Prix. He was on the podium again at round 9 at Assen, and made it to the front row 5 times to finally make it to 7th place in the championship, while also acquiring a new contract for the next year. Edward got used to the Bridgestone tyres in 2009 and completed in the top 5 7 times, and also managed a 2nd place at Donington Park in the wet. He concluded the season in 6th place overall and as the top satellite rider with a wide and clear margin, even taking down Andrea Dovizioso from Honda in the last race. In 2010, Edward got a fellow Texan, Ben Spies, as a teammate. Colin was reliable because of his consistency throughout the season, but his best result was a 5th place at Motegi. He completed the season in 11th place overall. Even with the idea of retirement, Colin was kept for the season of 2011. This time, Cal Crutchlow was his partner. He enjoyed every moment as he surpassed the new contender and was back on the podium again at Silverstone. It was a remarkable achievement because he had broken his collarbone just a week before in Barcelona when he was involved in an accident. Colin was constantly in the top 10, but his season had an upsetting end after he was involved in a collision that led to the passing away of Marco Simoncelli. He was also injured in the accident and taken out of the competition for the title. He also lost a proper farewell from the Tech 3 team, as he'd already announced that he would join the Forward Racing team for the season of 2012. Colin took responsibility for the team's project on the BMW engine, and his decision to move to the Forward Racing team was considered the right choice. Nevertheless, as much as Colin was committed to their cause, the Stutter chassis struggled for competitiveness. It was even more noticeable alongside the better ART machines engineered by Aprilia. The machine was not developing at a suitable rate, leaving Colin at the mercy of the FTR machines by Avintia and Grassini halfway through the season. He was so furious that he called the bike a piece of shh in front of journalists. After the events, many people thought Colin would end his relationship with Forward Racing, but they viewed criticism as a positive thing and re-signed him. They gave him a different bike, the FTR 2013 with a Kawasaki engine. Considering this a change for the better, and how he attained 7th place in the previous season, Colin was optimistic as he headed to the new year, ready to take down his rivals and show them what he could do. He was happier with the FTR and rarely out of the points, and while he could not catch up to Espargaro, he had many top 15 finishes, showing just how motivated he was. He had his CRT class victories at Motegi and Misano. He stayed with Forward Racing for the 2014 season with Aleix Espargaro as his new partner with Yamaha-based machines. During a press conference before the Motorcycle Grand Prix of the Americas in 2014, he announced it would be his final season in the MotoGP.
2014 will be my last year racing motorcycles.
As he struggled to get used to the next riding style. There were some statements that he would not participate in the season's second half after the round at Indianapolis, and Alex De Angelis replaced him. During a commentary for the Silverstone British MotoGP rounds on the 31st of August 2014, he announced that he would be testing for Michelin and Yamaha for 2 years. Colin later set up the Colin Edwards Texas Tornado Boot Camp, a world-class training facility near Lake Conroe, constructed on an 81,000-meter square plot. The facility provides premium training for those interested in motorcycle racing, and even the professionals looking forward to improving their skills. The facility offers a wide variety of events for moto training, including 1- and 2-day camps and private camps, racer camps, dirt wars, and the 4-day experience with Colin Edwards, where he also takes part in the training. Colin Edwards lived his dream, and still lives it at his boot camp, training new riders and polishing the existing ones.